Alright guys, my name is Benton McCarthy and this is the inaugural video for BAM's Golf. Basically we're just going to be a YouTube channel that goes around and plays sweet courses and golf resorts, and we do reviews of those courses and try to get clips from our rounds just so you can kind of see what these courses are all about. The other members of BAM's Golf, Ryan Butcher, Nick Atkinson, myself and Ryan Shoney. We've started doing some golf trips a few years ago, and we kind of like try to do some research to see if courses like have like, I don't know, photo galleries or videos on YouTube, just so we can kind of see the courses before we play them to see if like we want to drop $1,200 or more on a like buddy's golf trip. And we're realizing there's not really a ton of good videos out there, and like the flyovers usually that the courses have make their courses look better than they are. So essentially our channel is just to try to give you guys information so you can see if your buddy's group is wanting to do the same trips that we've done. And I get the luxury of doing the first video. So my wife and I a couple weeks ago played Payne's Valley, and I'll just tell you, out of all the courses I've played in my life, Payne's Valley is for sure the best course I've played. Actually, my wife played in college, and she used to do like a golf trip with her team each year, and they played like, I know they did TPC Sawgrass and a couple other pretty awesome courses and resorts, and she even agreed and said Payne's Valley was her favorite course. So the bar was definitely set with that course. Previously, I mean, me personally, I think French Lick, the Pete Dye course, is a really close second. But the one thing that kind of stood out for me with Payne's Valley is the like the 18th and 19th hole is just like unreal with all the rocks and waterfalls and everything. Yeah, it's just like not anything you would ever be used to on a golf course. But yeah, basically what we're gonna do as BAM's Golf expands, anytime one of us or all of us goes on like a trip, or we just go and play one of like the best courses in the country or best public courses in the country, we'll probably get some videos while we're there and do a little review of it. So that way we can kind of tell you if we think it's worth doing it. But before I get into my like detailed review, I'm gonna just show you the couple of clips that my wife and I had from our round. We were paired with two older guys, so I really didn't know how well they would like us like filming all these shots. So I really just filmed like 10 and 18 and 19 just because I knew Shoney had played Payne's Valley when it first opened, and he said those were his favorite holes. So my wife parred 10 and I birdied 18, and you'll see my nice little thinned 9-iron that actually gave it a little scare on the 19th. So watch that, enjoy that, and if you're back after the clip, like I said, I'll kind of give my review as to how Payne's Valley went in my opinion. So. Oh baby, does it need to get down though? Yep. Shot. Not bad. Good one. So yeah, hopefully those videos give you kind of an idea as what to expect. Um, Now I will say I've played Ozark National and Paynes Valley, and I'm hoping I can drag my wife out to Buffalo Ridge next year so I can complete the whole resort, or at least the 18 hole courses. I don't know if I'll ever do the par 3 courses, but for me, Ozark National, it's a great track. It's I think Ozark National is actually tougher than Paynes Valley, um, but Paynes Valley is just better. I think the fact that Tiger's got his stamp on it, the 18th and 19th hole, it's better. They're very similar golf courses. They're both very open. I mean, honestly, it's kind of hard to miss fairways at those two courses. But for me, Paynes Valley, a little better than Ozark National. Now, what I will say, everybody that we've talked to, both years we've been out there, and like even when we're at the landing in Branson, like you talk to the other golfers and they're like, "Oh, you need to do Buffalo Ridge. It's the best of the three. It's the most scenic, and it's actually the hardest of the three." So I'm looking forward to that one next year. Hopefully, if we do play it, I'll get more videos next time. Um, but yeah, so for me, I'm like a 5 handicap, and I am usually pretty straight off the tee, and I'm a decent putter. My ball striking is not great, so Paynes Valley could not have been a better course for a golfer like me. So if you're a single digit handicap and you've got a decent short game, but your ball striking is not great, you will love Paynes Valley. It's open. There are bunkers like in the fairways, but if you kind of know where you're hitting it, you're going to be fine. You should have wedges and mid irons in like all day. The only thing I regret from the trip is the two guys that were with us. They wanted to do the combo tees, and it was like raining and windy when we started. So I'm like, whatever, I'll do them. It was 6,500 yards, and I don't know. I kind of feel like the blue tees being 6,800 probably would have been better for me. I know the two of them probably shot like 100 and a 120, so they probably could have done the white tees. Yeah, I shot 75. My wife, I think she got 7 at that course, and she shot 80. So we both were right around our handicaps. And I think it is just because the fairways are a mile wide, not super long. Really, if you're a woman and you're actually watching this channel, then you must love golf. But it's like 4,900 from the women's tees, and like my wife is a former college golfer. She hit every single fairway and like pretty much hit most of the greens. She just struggled with the greens because of how undulated it was, and she doesn't really line her putts up at this point in her golf career. But I would say the one defense to the course, which makes it just like not the total easiest course you've ever played, is the greens are very challenging. Um, there's not many flat spots, so you're always going to be either putting like way up a hill or way down a hill or big side bender. So you got to kind of be selective as when you try to ram a putt in, because I know like there was at least 5 or 6 times I had to make a like 5, 7 footer on a putt that I tried to lag because it just kept rolling and kept rolling. So if you play Paynes Valley, and Ozark National's greens were much flatter, but Ozark National, the trouble comes into play a lot more than Paynes Valley. But sticking with Paynes Valley, like, yeah, you if you're hitting it close to the pin, you're probably going to go really low. If you're just hitting a lot of greens like me, you're probably going to have a lot of two putts. But like my wife, she would have like 40, 50 feet in on a lot of them, and it's pretty easy to 3-putt on those greens. So, and actually Shoney, the S of BAMS, he shot 79 from the Tiger tees. Now he's a scratch golfer, so he wanted to play from where the big boys play, and he said the same thing. Like it for him, same thing. It was easy to hit fairways, easy to get on or near the greens, but the undulation kind of is what allowed him to not shoot as low as he could have compared to other courses. Now, if we're going best holes, if that's what you're watching this video for, like the front nine, 4 is like an all downhill par 5 that is gettable, that there's a cool little stream. That hole's sweet. 5 is like an island green, par 3. I think those are the two best on the front. The hardest hole on the front, and probably actually the hardest hole on the entire course, is number 9. It's like a long par 4 that is kind of uphill a little bit, and the green's elevated but very tricky. And then on the back 9, 10, and 18 are probably the two most scenic and best looking holes. And 17 is definitely the hardest on the back. It might even be the hardest on the course, but 17 I know for Shoney last year and for me this year played like dead into the wind, and we both hit driver 3-wood and came up short. And yeah, so that hole is a beast. But yeah, the greens are pure. You're gonna cost $300 to play it if you stay at the resort, so you're definitely gonna get great conditions. Like I play the ball down, and I don't think I ever had a single lie that wasn't just perfect all day. But yeah, I loved it. It was slightly better than the Pete Dye course at the French Lick Resort. I think the only reason why I actually do rank it ahead of that course is just because of the final 2 holes. But it is, for me, it's number 1, with Pete Dye being a close second at French Lick. But about BAM's golf, the goal of these videos is, like I said, to give you guys kind of a perspective as to how these trips go, the value, what's the best value of all these like golf resorts. We're probably going to mostly be in the Midwest just because we live in Springfield, Illinois. But yeah, I can tell you from a value perspective, I do think Big Cedar Lodge is worth it. I know they do a package where it's like 3 nights and you get one of the 3 courses each day: Buffalo Ridge one day, Ozark National one day, Paynes Valley one day. So I would assume a trip like that is probably in the $1,500 range, so it is kind of high. Like for us, the French Lick Resort trip, we got 36 at the Pete Dye course and 18 at the Ross course, and 2 nights lodging, and that was like $650. So value-wise, that's obviously a way better like trip. But with how good all 3 of those courses at Big Cedar Lodge is, I think if you're just wanting it to be like sick golf every day, I would probably choose that. But yeah, I mean, money is important. So you could spend $1,000 more in Branson, or yeah, 1,000 less at French Lick. But I think both trips are definitely necessities if you love golf as much as BAM's golf does. But yeah, so the upcoming trips that we've got, I know I'm going to actually be playing Lasonia in a couple weeks, so I'll get a few videos there and get my review of that course. Nick is doing like the best trip ever, and we're all pretty jealous of him, but he's doing a few of the Pinehurst courses, and he'll get number 2. And then Mid Pines and Tobacco Road. So that video is obviously going to be way better than this video. And he'll have probably better clips and more clips. So, but yeah, so that's the next one. But our big trip is like BAM's golf. It'll really be like our inaugural, like all 4 of us on the same trip is going to be this fall. We're going to Arcadia Bluffs in September. And we're going to do Pilgrim's Run on the way. So, I know we'll get 36 at the Bluffs course, 18 at the South course, and then yeah, 36 at Pilgrim's Run. So we'll get some good videos of that, and that one will kind of be our one that we're gonna try to emulate in future videos. And then like next year, we've already got it booked to do Erin Hills and Lasonia. I think we're gonna go back to French Lick in 24, but who knows if we get more followers than just the 4 of us, and we actually like get a following. Maybe we can convince our wives to let us do 2 trips each year. But yeah, overall, Paynes Valley, definitely worth it. I know for my wife and I to play, 2 jackets, a yardage book, and a bag tag so I could throw in my basement. It was like $925. So my wife had a little bit of a heart attack when I went to pay that, but I guess that can be a birthday gift for myself. But you do get actually this pretty sweet poster. Um, they give you that before you play the 19th hole. And then you get a hot dog at the turn. We made the turn at like 9:30 in the morning. So, yeah, that was a nice little breakfast dog, complimentary of Tiger Woods and Johnny Morris. But no, it was awesome. Definitely worth it if you're a golf nut like we are. And yeah, so enjoy the video, and yeah, here in the next couple weeks you'll get a few more, and then yeah, be on the lookout for September, and we should have a longer, better review of yeah, Arcadia Bluffs up in Michigan. So